Okay, so we're going to start doing the ABC interview. So this is Joe in Wisconsin today. He was in Milwaukee this morning, I guess, and all the anything about reporting on it has been already wiped off the internet. I can't even find it. Um, I'll keep looking for it on this site. I think there were about 10 people there. Now, here, according to an ABC person, there were an ABC News reporter. The crowd was put in one corner of a middle school gym. Now, where have we seen all the little schools being used? Well, when Obama was president, he would always go to school auditoriums and shit like that. You've got to get them while you're young. But the kids in this city are already indoctrinated at such a young age. The majority of them. Um, so I wanted to show you guys something really weird. There aren't that many people there. They've got loudspeakers going. Everything is amplified. And Joe thinks this is a Trump style crowd, but you have to remember, I believe, and I did another video. I might put it up. I might not. I don't know. I was trying to do a Gateway Pundit article, but I had to keep going on Gateway Pundit is basically you're switching from the article to Twitter 20 times to get through an article. Stuff is not being embedded. I don't even know if the capabilities of Twitter right now is just such a fucking mess. But anyway, um, there's something that Joe. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm Bidening out. I wanted to show you guys though something Biden does. He made like tons of mistakes, and if you go on the RNC Twitter site, RNC Research Twitter site, I mean, the problem with that site is that you are going on, they put out videos that are 10 seconds long, and then you have to go to the next one and the next one. I don't care for that. I don't know who's running that site. Team Trump and the RNC Republican National Committee. It's just stupid. It's about as stupid as their idea to have a convention here uh, this this summer, this July, in the midst of a very bad crime year. It's just all very bizarre. Now watch what he does here. This is very loud, so I may have to turn it down. Stupid Steve Winwood song. Never liked it, but watch what he does. Watch him. He's practically making out with this woman, and I can assure you she will be bringing her vibrator in the polling booth with her in November. He's making out with her on stage. Now watch. Should we slow this down? Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's turn the audio off. Okay, now watch. Look at her. She's like, holy shit, I haven't had that much action since 1970. She's like, wow, Joe Biden kissed me. I can't fucking believe it. Look at her. She's an old lib lady. She's got her asymmetrical hair going with her tinted glasses, with her, and he's hugging these women. I'm sorry, I find that to be inappropriate. Now, if that was Trump, what would happen? She's flabbergasted. Watch this. He starts making, look at, she's like, Joe, come here. Give me a kiss. She's like, oh my God, did he just kiss me on the mouth and touch me? Yes, I think he slipped her the tongue. All right. So, and that's it's just so, it's funny, but yet at the same time, it's so fucking weird. Okay. Okay. So, he doesn't hear anything anyone is saying. Now, he thinks that that he is massively, let him think that. I don't want him switched out. Okay. Here we go then. Okay. Oh, I have to check my volume. I do apologize.
Good evening, everyone, on this momentous evening. I'm Juju Chang. Thanks so much for streaming.
Momentous? A half-hour interview with the president is momentous? It should be that way. Does anyone remember when Obama was running? He said that he would put every bill that was being passed in Congress on C-SPAN and up for discussion. I mean, he did say that. Now, good luck finding it. But I just remember that. He said, first, I will pull 100% of the troops out. Instead, he amped everything up and put it on steroids and did regime change in about 10 different countries. It was like 1 a year, 2 a year, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Juju Chang. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
With us tonight, ABC News has an exclusive interview with President Joe Biden. Our George Stephanopoulos sat down.
Now, this is the ABC site, so I'm hoping that it hasn't been edited yet, but I'm sure it probably has. But I've seen parts of it. I've got it already recorded. I have a feeling this is a real doozy. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing right now, but I want to just do a few minutes. So let's go for it.
Down with the president for his first televised interview since that core debate performance against Donald Trump. President Biden says he is committed to staying in the race and confident that he will prevail and beat Donald Trump. The president was directly called on to answer for his faltering appearances and whether he still has the mental and physical fitness for another term in the White House. Our team is standing by, of course, for analysis, but first, let's get to the interview.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night.
He has his teeth in. He's got his little cover over his teeth. Ugh. I mean, I'm blinded. They're like neon.
But your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen.
What? You took a fucking 10 days off. You work from 10 to 4. I'm tired too right now, Joe. Most Americans are extremely exhausted. Okay.
Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted.
No indication. I'm a serious condition. Let's turn the closed captioning off and see if we can understand. No indication of serious condition. I think he means to say no indication I have a serious condition. He slurs everything right away.
You and your team have said you had a bad night. But your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode?
God. You can see his abdomen going up and down. I swear to God, this dude is doing coke. We showed the picture a few days ago of Joe in 1979. He was 29 years old. He looked older. He looked actually kind of really ugly and gross. He had a total makeover. I believe he's had more than one facelift, according to plastic surgeons that have looked at him. I think he gets a lot of Botox because that's why he has the eyelid droop. His pupils are extremely dilated. I had another version of this that the lighting made him look like he has a ton of makeup on and he's really tan. And he's not. Okay.
Or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted.
I have no indication serious condition. I bet he has a prompter right behind Stephanopoulos. So within 1 minute, well, with the first question, he slurred the answer.
I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
You know, you say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why
See his lower teeth. Now see, he's all sunken in again.
wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked them if they did a COVID test.
What? Can you guys really seriously? I know I'm pausing a lot, but are you guys understanding him? You know there's a teleprompter behind Stephanopoulos. This is completely planned. This is not, he's got notes and shit. He probably has note cards and he's got special note cards right on top there that Jill made out. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I am not feeling the greatest right now, and I'm concerned that my infection might have come back at my surgical site, which is serious. I mean, the last time I had it, I had 7 weeks in the hospital. I'm very worried about that. If you don't hear from me for a while, that's going to be it. That would be why. It has me upset. Okay, but I'm tired too, you know. And never mind. He can't put sentences and words together, and I'm stopping a lot, but so it's hard. Let me just keep going here. I know I'm not making sense right now either, but it's like 12. It's going on 1 o'clock, and I had 2 beers. It's not a lot, but for me right now, I mean, I feel like shit too, Joe. But you know, this guy. Let me tell you something. I have some shitty videos. I'll put them up if you want to watch them. He has given me, when I have been feeling like garbage, the most entertainment I have had in like a year. Okay. Looks like they're totally green screen too. What is this? Where is this?
But you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked them if they did a COVID test. We were trying to figure out what's wrong.
The docs with me, I asked to give a COVID test to see if what was wrong.
They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't.
Okay, so can we see those records? Because you just got done saying that you're not showing us your doc. I mean, I guess he hasn't had a checkup since February. Now he's saying he just had one. He had a virus. Okay, well, that's fine, but you're still fucking up. But that's cool.
In fact, the docs with me, I asked if they did a COVID test. We were trying to figure out what's wrong.
Huh?
They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
I mean, you're not sneezing, you're not blowing. Okay.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
I don't think I did. He can't It was only a week ago, and he cannot remember it. Okay, I mean, we're 1 minute 55 into this thing.
They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection,
He just
or
drives me
virus.
mentally.
I didn't.
Yeah, shut
I
up.
just had a really bad cold.
And
Wait a minute.
did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
He doesn't remember watching the debate. I don't think I did, no. Holy fuck.
Well, what I want to get at is, what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look, the whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine. Nobody's fault but mine.
What's he have a pen for?
I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I really.
Okay, I'm not. Is there something wrong with me? I'm absolutely not following him. But he has a pen. But watch it. It's the wrong way. He's holding it upside down. Look at this.
The whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine.
Oh no, he's got it the right way.
Nobody's
No, he
fault.
doesn't. Does he? Okay.
Mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting
I prepared what I usually would do, sitting
down,
as
I
I
did come back with foreign leaders or
did come back with foreign leaders or
the National Security
Security Council. What?
Council for explicit detail.
For explicit detail of what? You weren't supposed to know what. Okay. I mean, so in other words, what explicit detail of what? You're the president. You're supposed to be on top of shit. You're supposed to know shit. So he sat down for what? The questions? The answers? It doesn't matter. You're too fucked up to, if you got everything in advance. Ugh.
And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times.
Well, I was listening to Fetzer, and where did he lie 28 times? I don't remember anything that he said that was a lie. I don't think he just makes shit up. I mean, can you name one? All right, let me just try to get past this, because I'm I don't know if you guys are from here or what. I know a lot of people are over in Europe, London, Australia and shit. I have never seen everything so bad all at once. And my experience in life have been like crazy, wild, almost urban myth crazy in a good way. Now I have some problems right now, okay, that I'm working through, but it just happens to coincide with this numbnut being president. But that was one of the worst things that happened to us as Americans. In 2020, everybody knew what was going to happen ahead of time. It was just like common knowledge. But you had a machine come in during the summer, during the COVID thing. You had a machine come in and you had it fucking take over. It was like inexplicable, but bad, very bad. And the country took a very bad downward turn. People were staying at home. People were going to unemployment. People were purposely trying to, and because I've talked to them, younger people in their 30s were purposely trying to test positive, and they kept going in to get tested so they could have their 2 weeks, and then they would get their paid vacation, and they used to laugh about it. I've been I was at places back in 2021 where people were laughing about it, drinking heavily, and saying I wanted we went to Disney World or something. I mean, I'm just picking stuff out. People were, trying to milk this thing as much as they could. So it showed that they were on unemployment. And then when they decided to start the thing in Ukraine, suddenly it ended. Boop, just like that. And honestly, that's what happened. And so then it showed the numbers were down, and then it showed an increase. So he's like, I've got the biggest, let's, this is, this is number massaging, but let's keep going here.
The way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault. No one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first question in, even before he spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night. You've had some bad interviews once in a while. I can't remember any, but I'm sure you did.
I've had plenty. I guess the question, the problem is.
Now, just in case, I hate breaking this one up. You don't know this. George Stephanopoulos. Okay. He was Bill Clinton's, I thought he was his press secretary. Just so you know. It doesn't even say that. Okay. God. Oh, he was an advisor to the Dem Party, rose to prominence. Oh, he was communications director in 1992 for Bill Clinton for the campaign. And he was a senior advisor for policy and strategy. So he was communications director. Okay. So there was a lot of fuss when he was on one of those Good Morning, Sunday morning talk shows. There was a lot of fuss that he was going to be biased because he was worked for Clinton. And I believe Clinton was still in office at the time, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's 63 years old right now, right? 62 or 63, 61, 63. And, okay, the thought was that he was going to be extremely biased. So, but now it's pretty common just to use party hacks as journalistic people. So, whatever. Just in case you're wondering. But he's going to be pissed at Stephanopoulos, but let's keep going.
Here for a lot of Americans watching, as you've said, going back to 2020, watch me. Yep. To people who are concerned about your age. And, 50 million Americans watched that debate. It seemed to confirm fears they already had.
Well, look, after that debate, I did 10 major events in a row, including until 2 o'clock in the morning after that debate. I did events in North Carolina. I did events in Georgia. Did events like this today. Large crowds, overwhelming response, no slipping. And so I just had a bad night. I don't know why.
And how quickly did it come to you that you were having that bad night?
Well, it came to me as having a bad night when I realized that.
Did you see how a director did something there? Or he was looking at something?
Georgia. No slipping. And so I just had a bad night. I don't know why.
And how quickly did it come to you?
Watch
that you were
right
having
here.
that bad night?
Right here.
Well, it came to me as having a bad night when I realized that even when I was answering a question, even though they turned his mic off, he was still shouting.
Ah!
and I let it distract
Actually, you were doing that, Joe, but that's okay.
me. I'm not blaming it on that, but I realized that I just wasn't in control.
But part of the other concern is that this seems to fit into a pattern of decline that has been reported on recently. New York Times had a headline on July 2nd, Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome. Here's what they wrote. People who have spent time with President Biden over the last few months or so said the lapses appear to have grown more frequent, more pronounced, and after Thursday's debate, more worrisome. By many accounts, as evidenced by video
Wait a minute.
footage, observation.
You can see his chest rising and falling. Joe's. This should be just a natural thing he does for a half hour. Sit down with a press person. This should be just a natural thing. It shouldn't be, as Juju Chang said, momentous. This should be just normal and natural. Trump did these press conferences several times a week, if not every day, if I'm not mistaken. This should be something that is just done routinely. Why is this momentous that he spent about 20 minutes with Stephanopoulos? Because that's probably what it ended up being. 20, 25 minutes. And he couldn't like it's just this momentous, big, huge fucking like wow. It's because he's such a fucking clown, you know. All right, let's keep going.
And interviews, Mr. Biden is not the same today as he was even when he took office
Oof.
3.5 years ago. Similar reporting in the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. Are you the same man today that you were when you took office 3.5 years ago?
In terms of successes, yes.
What? What's
I also was
success?
the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East
What?
that may be coming to fruition.
Wait, what was that? That was a guy that did what? Can you understand him? Or is it just me?
That you were when you took office 3.5 years ago?
In terms of successes, yes. I also was the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East that may be coming to fruition. I was also
What?
the guy that expanded NATO.
Wait a minute, and maybe come in friction? You put together a peace plan for the Middle East, but they're at the most high level of war that has ever been in my lifetime. You know, and I've been around for a few decades.
Successes, yes. I also was the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East that may be coming to fruition. I was
Huh?
also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also the guy that grew the economy. All the individual things that were done were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on.
You put a peace plan together for a place that's in the largest war situation ever. You're attacking Russia. They bombed Crimea. The weapons used were U.S. weapons, confirmed. So you put together peace plans, but you started two wars, major wars, and he did something else. He expanded NATO. Uh, like, is he supposed to be expanding NATO? Is that is that his job? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Do we need it? What's it there for? It's a World War II relic. World War II ended in 1945. It's 2024. He's an old relic too.
I was also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also the guy that grew the economy. All the
Grew
individual
the
things that were
economy. Oh my God. Wow. So in other words, it shut down and then reopened up, and you're saying you grew it. And that's exactly what they're doing. When I say they, his team. Okay, I have to pause for like 1 second. I just have to check on one thing, and then I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to bring it back. Just out of curiosity, did they turn comments off for this? Oh my God, 22,421 comments. Geez. An embarrassment to the country. Imagine not remembering if you watched the worst performance of your life for a week ago. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Hope the comment section will probably be turned off. Looks to me like I would not even bother commenting on this. It's just self-explanatory. Okay.
Were done, were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And so, for example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately? It's just today,
What?
ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And so, for example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately? It's just today, just announced 200,000 new jobs.
200,000 new jobs in a country. Now, I want you to think about this, in a country of about 340 million. Okay? So think about, divide 200,000 by 50, and what do you get? So
Jobs. We're moving in a direction that no one's ever taken on. I know you know this from the days
Chick-fil-A.
in the government. I took on Big Pharma. I beat them. No one said I could beat them. I took on all the
Wait a
things we
minute.
said
Wait
we
a
got
minute.
done.
Whoa. Everything's gone up in price significantly. Plus, my insurance is going up in August, but I'll receive a letter sometime in July telling me more about it. So what the fuck are you talking about? This is the worst situation this country has ever been in.
We're told we couldn't get done. And part of it is what I said when I ran was I want to do three things: restore some decency to the office, restore some support for the middle class instead of trickle-down economics built from the middle out and the bottom up,
Huh?
the way the wealthy still do fine, everyone does better, and unite the country.
But what has all that work over the last
Wait a
three and a
minute.
half
You're uniting the country when you have half of it for your opponent and you're calling him names and shit like that, and that's uniting the country and acting with class? Losers and suckers? I'm not. I'm. Yeah. I don't believe that. Now, in my neighborhood, people are very low key, except for the people that actually owns a few of the houses here, and it's just like you want to just lay down on the ground and start laughing. It's just. But they're kind of hidden in a little alcove. That's about it. There's about three of them. They're nuts. They're overboard. Okay, let's keep going.
years cost you physically, mentally, emotionally?
Well, I just think it cost me a really bad night, a bad run. But, George, I'm optimistic about this country. I don't think we're a country of losers, that he points out. I don't think America's in tough shape. I think America's on a cut.
Who said the U.S. is a country of losers? What? Why? How is this uniting the country and restoring integrity to the office? It's restoring nap time and a 10 to 4 workday. I mean, this dude puts in about 4 hours a day, but I don't think he does. I don't really think he does.
Cusp of breaking through in so many incredible opportunities.
Like what?
This next term, I'm going to make sure we got to straighten out the tax system. I'm going to make sure we're in a situation where we have health care for all people, where we're in a position where we have
Did you guys just hear what I said?
child care and elder care, free up, and all these
Oh my
things.
God.
One thing I'm proudest of is, remember when my economic plan was put forward, a lot of the mainstream
No.
economists said it's not going to work. Well, guess what? You now have 16 Nobel laureates, 16 of them in economics,
What?
saying that Biden's next term would be, based on what he wants to do, enormous success. Trump's plan would cause a recession, would significantly increase inflation.
Huh?
I've made great progress, and that's what I plan on doing, and we can do this.
I understand that, and I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking you is about your personal situation. Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No, but I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No,
I know you
come
spoke.
keep my schedule.
I know you spoke.